Good morning, children. This is the online revision session for the chapter Staffing, and you all are welcome to the online classroom of Chanakya Academy. Today, we are going to do the revision for the chapter number 5 that we have learned for the last week. The chapter is Staffing. From this chapter, we had already learned about the meaning of staffing, concept of staffing, how it evolved, right? Apart from that, what are the characteristics and importance of staffing, why staffing is the part of human resource management, what is the process of staffing, and training and development. Children, till now we have completed this much from this chapter. Let us revise it one by one. If we talk about how staffing was introduced, then we must go back to the era of industrial revolution. The meaning of industrial revolution is growing and development of more and more industries. Now when industries come up, more industries are getting introduced in the market. That means more laborers are required, more skilled persons are required, more employees are required to run the machines, and not all the employees or the person of the same skill or qualification are required, right? So this is from where staffing involved, when there were dynamically lot many different types of works that were to be done in the industries, right from operating the machines to managing the humans, that is employees recruitment, selection, right? So all these things were to be undertaken, which gave result to the concept of staffing. Okay, when management leaders, this is how management understood that see now, when more persons are there, they need to be managed so that wastage is not there, they work in harmony and coordination, right? So in such situation, there is an importance of efficient and sensitive staff, right? And so it gave birth to the systematic or scientific system for employees recruitment, which included recruitment, selection, appointment, promotion, transfer, and training. So let us understand the meaning of staffing. Staffing is the process of development of individual. The entire success of the organization depends on the efficiency of attitude of the employees, and that is why staffing is not only related to selection or recruitment of employee, but also post retirement activities, promotion, motivation, development, and training. All these things are included in staffing. If we talk about the characteristics of staffing, then I would list out like there are 7 points which describe the characteristics of staffing. That is, staffing is an important function of management. It is a perennial process. Perennial means it is a continuous process, or without staffing employees cannot exist. It is concerned with the human relations. It is a dynamic, ever changing process which changes as per the requirement of organization. It is related to managerial functions, other managerial functions as well. It is having a wider scope, and expenditure done on the staffing is not an expense, but it is an investment. Why the staffing is important? There are 8 points, children. It is a driving force. Efficient or skilled employee or motivated and contented staff can give the best, you can say, output to the organization. It is a dynamic activity that is ever changing. It is important for other functions of management also, and this staffing act as the limb of the business enterprise, which works on the brain of the planning done. Okay, staffing, the activities of the staffing leads to the job satisfaction among the staff members, like training, development, creating harmony in the relations. When the staffing is done properly, proper qualified staff, trained staff is there, then it increases the prestige of the organization. And last but the not least, that it is the continuous process. Yes, HRM, that is human resource management. HRM, that is human resource management, which is concerned with planning for recruiting staff and their development in the field of skills, motivation, efficiency, then overall personal development by increasing their confidence, boosting up their morale. All this is a part of HRM. Staffing includes recruitment, selection and training, right? That is why now staffing is said to be the part of human resource management, which was earlier confined only to filling up the vacancies, right? The process of HRM, that is human resource management, is divided into two parts. First one is manpower planning. If we talk about manpower planning, that means how to organize the men, requirement of the staff, increasing the staff, new appointment, if any reduction, any placement, and keep the staff continuously active and involved in the organization. That is manpower planning. Second, it is concerned with the compensation and development of staff, which take care about proper training, a good positive conducive environment of the organization, compensation in the form of monetary and non-monetary benefits, recognition in the work, and providing promotions and so on is all the part of HRM. Now the entire process of staffing has three steps. First one is recruitment, second selection, third one training and development. See, recruitment means process of acquiring at right time, in right number, in right place, the right person with the right qualification. This is known as recruitment. What are the various sources of recruitment? There are basically two main sources, internal source and external source. Internal source include promotion in the form of transfer, friends and relatives of the existing employees, providing promotion with the transfer to the new place or hometown, waiting list of the one who had previously applied in the organization, and recalling the retrenched employees, the one who had left earlier because of any of the reason. If apart from this internal sources of recruitment, we are having external sources also through which the vacant post can be filled up or or the vacancies can be called up from the external sources through advertisement, employment exchange offices, the office which keeps the record of unemployed person as well as the employer's profile, so that unemployed person can be directly, the list of the unemployed and qualified staff can be directly given to the various employers or the organization who are seeking for the vacant post. Through educational institute, right, through various trade unions of the organization, through contractors and recruitment at the gate, which provides generally the daily wages laborers to the organization. And another popular external source of recruitment is online recruitment, which is generally done on the through websites and web portals of the organization, as well as many of the e-commerce web portals are there, like naukri.com, monster.com, right, which act as an online employment exchange. Okay, so these are the various sources of recruitment, and this is the first stage of staffing. Second step of staffing is selection. Now selection means to select the proper candidate from all the applications received. Through various internal as well as external sources of recruitment, various applications have been received in the organization. The next step is for the organization is to select the suitable, expert, experienced, loyal employee in the organization. So for that, the entire process of selection is done, which includes first step, welcoming and primary meeting, in which the applications which have been received in the organization have been called up in the organization. HR, the receptionist, checks if the person is eligible for the vacant post or not. If yes, then is called by the recruitment officer, who interacts and have the first primary meeting with the eligible candidate. If he is found qualified and eligible, then the second step is receiving and screening of the application. His CV or the resume is asked, and it is and screening is done, that is checking for all the qualifications and eligibility criterias. If everything is found okay, then the third step is taking all the necessary tests like IQ test, aptitude test, trade test, psychological test, to know the attitude, aptitude, behavior, decision making skill, intelligence, memory power test of the selected, not selected but the applied candidate. Once the tests are passed, they are again called up for the personal interview. Now in this personal interview, it is done by the various experts for which the candidate has applied. All the experts from their departmental heads, management heads, person from the top management, all together sit with the candidate and have the interview. And at this personal interview, he is also made clear about the terms and conditions and working of the organization. Once he agrees, then the next step is of checking the references. References are the one that are filled up by the employee in the application form. References generally include the previous employer's detail. If the candidate is found eligible for the organization, then it is a part, then the next step is covered by HR office, who calls up the references provided in the application to check for the details of the candidate, to know about the performance of the candidate in the previous employees, in the previous companies. Once references are found okay, then preliminary selection is done, medical examination is done. Medical test includes various basic medical tests from the recognized hospitals, so that a certificate is taken from the candidate that he is physically fit and fine or eligible to work for the particular job. If all above things are clear, then he is given the appointment letter, which mentions all the terms, conditions, salary breakups, date of joining, and all other agreements in the letter. Fine, in the form of letter. On receiving the appointment letter, the job of the selected candidate is confirmed, and once he joins the organization, he is given the induction into the organization, that is introduction and allotment of work. The different kind of jobs and duties are allotted once he joins the office. Okay, once the process of selection is done, the next step is of training and development, the third stage of staffing. But if we talk about training and development, so training and development both means imparting practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge, but the objective is different. For training, it is done for the employees to increase the skill, aptitude, attitude and technical skills of employees, whereas development is the same imparting of knowledge but to the top level management and departmental heads, right? Why training is important? So training will lead to safety of the employees. They will be updated about the modern information. When the employee knows about the organization and working structure, their job satisfaction increase, which reduces the labor turnover rate, reduces the expense and increases the profit. On the other hand, why development is important? Because it will increase the technical knowledge, new ideas, the development of entire organization will take place. They will be able to, these heads will be able to provide the solution to the problems. Various developmental programs will reduce the stress of these management heads, because these are the persons who are more involved in intellectual work than the physical work. With this, your chapter number 5 is also over. From tomorrow we will be moving ahead in the same subject, organization of commerce. Till then, thank you, bye, take care, and be ready with your be punctual with your homeworks.